Hello, this is the Light Read, the National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors' very own video news commentary series, as brought to you by Keystone and their center basket troffer fixtures, among many other things that they do. I'm not Mike or Greg. Let's just dive into the news because no one's posted anything since Wednesday anyhow, so let's go quickly. So LEDs Magazine, they've released their survey results. So this is a voluntary survey where where people were asked to disclose how much they made and how many vacation days they got. So we can all sit here and compare and contrast because apparently the whole industry is all over the place, even in similar job titles, and that's weird. That's weird. Probably a regional thing. ASHRAE has new energy standards, so there's 100 little changes, but it's also got some tips and tricks to beat those standards and get ahead of the curve, because guess what? ASHRAE is going to update that standard in another 3 years. Hedge funds are going to spoil the Osram buyout. Osram's buyout is in its 3.5th offer. This time around, they're running up against the same problem as offer 1.5, in which, most of the stockholders are kind of incentivized to sit on those until after the deal is clear because of a weird quirk of German financial law. This is what I've learned this week. Leadvance has finally started decommissioning that plant in Pittsburgh. All of the fittings and stuff is getting recycled, getting torn apart. The whole thing should be done by next summer. This is the same facility that got retooled rather expensively for LED. I'm going to say in 2012? Yeah, something like that. Maxlight has filed to invalidate Zhang's super lighting patents. It's TLEDs. There's a fight. Meanwhile, Seoul wants to get rid of their patents. Seoul Semiconductor is selling off 198 patents in 2 different packets. One's specific to gallium nitride semiconductors, which you might know are way better at semiconducting than silicon ones. Silicon. Another of the 100 patents are for high-power LEDs. That's everything from the stuff they make for trucks to your phone and everything in between. Acuity has bought Locust Labs. Locust Labs does indoor positioning, so this is probably going to be a bunch of retail coolness coming down the pipeline in a few years. The universities of Umeå and Kyushu have OLECs now, electrochemical cells, light-emitting cells that don't use iridium. SimCar might be coming back. So the bankruptcy option did finish. You might remember that from earlier in the year. So sometime over the summer that happened. And everything went to an unnamed California company. So they may be bringing back the name and the stuff. So episode 111 of Get a Grip on Lighting. Stan Wallerchuk is back to talk about controls and how, you can get more out of them than just saving some money. The UK, Schneider Electric, has estimated that a quarter of all power generated gets wasted. That seems like a lot. I don't want to point any fingers, but it's totally you not turning the lights off in the bathroom. Dang it. So Eaton's stock is up, despite most of their sectors being down. Apparently their systems and services are doing gangbusters. Big old cross-pollination, cross-study of 150 different papers might point that light pollution, electric light waste, is why we are seeing a decline in the overall insect population. There we go. Kroger, at least in one of their brands in Seattle, is just going to be taking farm to table to a new level, because right next to the hummus, you're going to have a case with a vertical farm in it. You'll be able to pick out kale and cilantro just right off the farm, as it were. R&D Lighting Controls merges with Mulcrone and Associates. Mulcrone is actually a rep agency, but R&D makes a bunch of things, so that's kind of new. Sunlight will raise your rent. This is a big whole study on workplace wellness and a whole bunch of data points on this and that, and oh, is it worth it to add, free kombucha? And what really shows up is that if you have windows that point outside, you can charge more rent. Myers Emergency Power Systems has acquired low voltage systems. I've misspelled voltage. That will be fixed in the final version. Backup power manufacturer says California. The backup power manufacturer buys the emergency lighting guys in California. LVS's president will stay on the board. Cooper Lighting is now a preferred supplier for iMark. That's going to go into effect 1 month from today. Schneider Electric's VP calls for smart rural projects. I mean, smart cities are big and exciting, but I think if we're talking about small towns, isolated areas, I think there's a lot to be had for smartening up what they do. I think they could see a lot more from it, and this fellow seems to agree. Detroit, not content to change all of their street lamps, are adding new, fun, crazy bus shelters. These things have solar panels, LED lighting, and USB chargers while you're waiting for the bus. Sounds kind of cool. Nietzsche has filed patent suits. Nietzsche, of course, is suing Asus Computers, mostly for the LED in their phones, and Everlight products. Building and Developer Magazine is giving you some tips on what to do in the face of California's Title 24. Pfingstein has bought Environmental Lights. This is a private equity firm for an LED specifier. Going all out. Digital Illumination Interface Alliance starts new driver certification. So D4I has extended the DALI 2 to a bunch of intraluminaire IoT applications, and between this and guys that run on Samsung, and guys that run on Apple, and guys that run on Amazon, and guys that run on Google, and guys that run on Samsung's things or Silvair things, I need to talk to an expert on hostile interoperability, because I am getting sick of platforms here. I'm getting sick of them. CFL full of dead ladybugs causes a fire. Kentucky man warns of a unique hazard to the spiral lamps. So Kentucky man does not say how or why his CFL may have, and this is your classic spirally, A-type replacement, got full of bugs, but, check your CFLs to see if they're full of bugs, because they might heat up and burn your house down. And then get rid of your CFLs, because better options now. You don't usually associate the dangers of CFLs with, bugs, but there we go. And Professor Holonyuk will lead the parade of lights in his hometown. Holonyuk is credited with inventing the LED, the display one, the red one, in '62, and his hometown holiday parade is going to be led by him in spirit. Otherwise, we've got some few people getting jobs. Kisambi has appointed Kari Matala as CEO, and Fabio Calvi and Paolo Brambiglia have appointed as design curators at Floss. Again, this has been the Light Read for Nailed and Keystone, and I'm just going to shout out to IES as well. They're doing a new webinar series. If you use this code here, you will get to watch it for free. This is based on TM21 and the ethical specification on speculation of LED lifetime. It's Brianne Wilcox and Alex Baker, based on a talk they gave at the IES conference earlier this year. Again, this is Nailed, the Light Read. Subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you haven't joined, you're missing out. Have a good Monday.